Oh, we're on the shores of Lochleven and we're looking across the loch towards the Glencoe range here. Somebody's out there, I don't know what they're doing in that boat. Let's see if we can take a closer look.
In the harbour.
He's probably out there fishing. More people there. I noticed one or two pens too, suggesting there's salmon farming here. Lovely, isn't it? Spot of white water rafting, perhaps. Welcome to Welcome to Kinlochleven. And this is the River Leven as it flows towards the loch with the same name. We're going to have a look on the other side of the bridge now. Apologies for any wind noise. There's an ice climbing centre in there. That was part of the old aluminium smelting works, which at one time was, I think, the second largest in Scotland. At the bottom of a huge hydroelectric plant which powered it. Apparently it was the last major item built in this country by navvies, or with the use of navvies. And that's where the water supposedly gushes out from the downpipes. All changed now, of course. So we're right at the end of a valley surrounded on three sides by the mountains. And they're doing roadworks. And we are surrounded on three sides by mountains, Munros, you name it. Look up there. Winds travel, dare to go where no others venture. Thank goodness for that. Sorry, there's a lot of too much reflection, I think.
Industry, as is common in this area, is now tourism. The name Ballachulish means the village by the Narrows. The Narrows in question is Cowlis. Cowlis Mig Patrick, Peter or Patrick, Son's Narrows, which is at the mouth of Lochleven. As there was no road to the head of Lochleven, until 1927, the Ballachulish Ferry, which was established in 1730, and should give a good account of themselves in any fray. They do not show the same amount of Celtic fire for field sports as their neighbours of Kinlochleven or Glencoe.
Welcome to the visitor centre at Glencoe. It's quite a interesting sort of place amongst the trees. And I suddenly turned round, having walked that one way, and I suddenly saw what was behind me. You're a big mountain here.
Yeah.
Well, I know I said we'd been lost amongst the trees, but it does give you a sense of depth. It's feeling very small in a big area.
He's waiting for you.
Well, you've heard of a room with a view.
He's looking at you.
Here's a view with a coup.
They are trying to do it. Go for it. That's the best, isn't it?
I want to meet one of them on a dark night.
No, exactly. Yeah, you'd be the caver, I think.
Yeah. Lovely view though.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
You're looking straight up Glencoe.
I'm sorry, you're doing this commentary.
No, don't worry. We're going up.
Yep. Didn't miss them.
Over the top. Yeah.
What, next to town? Next close.
People looking from out there. See if I can get a closer view of that cow. You have these walkways from the visitor centre all over. Get the different parts of the centre. This is the way to the viewpoint, but it passes over this lovely bridge here. It's all been very cleverly built, cleverly designed. Look at that. Crystal clear water. All these ferns, lovely, isn't it? This is the turf house that would have been lived in by the clan MacDonald. You would literally have living walls, look at that. We're a bit dark inside. There you go. But let's go inside and see.
wasn't built for my height.
And not even mine.
There you go.
Thank you. Very nice.
The low light system appears to be working. It's got the stone.
Watch that go fall over. Got the pigs and stuff.
What have we got here? Trying to find if the light is a bit too low to get that in. Hanging cooking utensil. But through the door. And out once again onto this view. Amazing. I've just had to take this. Where are you going to find a coach with the hairy coo written on the side of it? Back over the bridge, over the Leven, over the road below, which I think was possibly built on the track of the old railway line. I don't know. I need to make some further investigations on that. I think. Well, although the road below wasn't built on the old railway track, it was slightly further inland. The approach road, the new road that was built to get up onto this bridge, was built on top of the old railway line. I think it closed in about 1965, and it was a branch line that went from here and down to Oban. Cool. And looking at some of the photos, that must have been a very, very spectacular line to have ridden on. I did film this before, but you can see it again.
No, that's a bit wrong. Someone's taking my private yacht out over to the left there with my own private helicopter sitting on the back. That should be moored up somewhere. I'll have to find out who's got that. What we could try and do is we find out who really owns it. Of course, I don't own it. You didn't believe me anyway. But what we'll try and do is find out who does own it,
on the back.
and we'll swap the coach for it and we'll all sail home. How's that sound?
That sounds like a good idea.
You'd probably fit the coach on it actually.
How do you like to wake up and look at that view every morning, eh? There's the little ferry. Over there. This is the ferry, the Corran ferry to Ardgour. It's a proper vehicle ferry, takes coaches and everything, runs every 30 minutes and takes 5 minutes for the crossing. But boy, it don't save you a long journey round via Fort William and over the other side of Lochlinny and then back down the peninsula. And way out there in the distance, which you probably couldn't see, it was the Isle of Mull. I'm looking over at Morrison's, but there's the new bus station in Fort William, and I understand you get another of the terminal stations of the West Highland line, Fort William. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, this is the new station, although there's nothing in the platform that I can see at the moment. But as best I can see through this fence. I understand originally the station was further into the other side, next to the town centre. I will check on that. This is also the terminus of the overnight sleeper train to Edinburgh and Euston. But I'm also looking at this ramp here because motor rail services, I believe, used to run to Scotland, and I'm wondering if this is the remnants of the old motor rail ramp where the sleeper train is in the siding. Anyhow, here we are, Fort William, another end of the line. Well, here we are. Standing in what I'm guessing was the old main road here in Fort William. And I think the old railway station was somewhere over here to the right. Again, need to do more research on that.
Well, it was on the right as we looked down this street, which was at that time the main road through Fort William, but it was somewhat further down where the station building was. There were other buildings over here on the right which were demolished as part of the scheme, and there is now another road between this building on the right and the new main road, which is right on the waterfront where the actual station platforms and railway tracks were. So yes, the whole area to the right was both a McBrain's bus station and then eventually the British Railway station. Looking at it now, you wouldn't think there'd ever been a station there, but old photos certainly are of interest. And I would recommend, if you want to have a look at photos of the old station, go to a website called Disused Stations, which you will find very helpful indeed. Anyway, onwards and upwards.
But we're going to have a walk along there, and I'm looking for Jackie in the museum. There we go. Oh, lovely church there. The trouble is, there's just so many people about again. Well, I spotted Jackie, so I'll go and catch her up. There's an interesting change of use. 1906, Masonic Hall. Now, various shops. Well, if you ever thought midges were a myth, this would seem to prove they're not. Or on the other hand, it's a very good advert for Avon, skin so soft.
Yeah, looking over right to your left there, you can see the sailing ship, the tall sailing ship there. It was out there earlier, we saw it a bit earlier. Not sure if I want to be on there today, it's a bit breezy now, a bit choppy. Again, I do have luggage labels at the front here now. If anybody does need another luggage label, please ask as you're leaving the vehicle when we get to the hotel. Once again, just remember, main bags that you're not going to need anything out of again until we get back home. Just to be outside your room by 7 AM, labelled up with just your surname on, really. It's just so we can put them in the locker where we need to put them. And if you've got an overnight bag and you're using your main bag, once again, write on that label overnight. So if we read overnight bags, still got to have your surname on, but also write overnight. Then we won't put that in the middle lockers with all the other suitcases. We'll keep that with the overnight bags. Okay. It just makes it a smoother transition all round. Tomorrow when we leave, or not tomorrow, day after tomorrow when we leave Harrogate, it also makes it easier tomorrow when we get to Harrogate, and when we get back to England.